You are blessed. You are a blessing. 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 You are a blessing. You are a blessing.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Martha today. We have another grateful gathering scheduled for a fundraising event coming up very soon in June. And these events benefit both our center financially and we introduce new folks to our teachings. And they're also coming up on June 21st, gallery for a festive brunch by the pool. I'm sure as usual and relaxed. You too can host an event. Find out more outside. If you have any questions, ask any one of us, and we'll talk to you about hosting a fundraiser at Grateful Gatherings. After the message this morning, as usual, we'll offer opportunities to talk to Reverend Jill about her message. We'll pass the microphone around if you have any questions or things that you want clarity on. We love music here at Scottsdale Center for Spiritual Living, and today we welcome I Want to Know What Love Is by Music Travel Love and Friends at Dahar Fort, Abu Dhabi. You got a printed version? Yeah. I know what love is. I think we all do. I can leave the announcements. So how many listen to podcasts? I've never liked them. I've listened to a few, and people are always talking over each other, and that drives me crazy because I can't tell what's going on. They interrupt each other. It's like, let one person talk at a time, right? Well, this week I had finished a book on Audible, and I got a pop-up message about this podcast, and it was Simon Sinek. Anybody I asked if I start with why that book? Yeah. And I thought, okay, I'll try this. I'm hooked. Oh my gosh. It's entitled A Bit of Optimism, and it's many talks, and I just listened to several of them, and they don't talk over each other. They're very respectful of each other. The information is amazing, and they go deep with topics. And he's done so much more since he wrote that book 15 years ago. He's written other books and things as well. So it's very interesting and fascinating. But what I discovered in this process, the point of the story, is that I realized how out of touch I am with intellectual conversation. It seems my world has narrowed a bit. And I was surprised by that. Some of the things they talked about, I was like, Some of it, I went, So I was surprised. Have I been lulled into sleep by Maya, the illusion, the veil of what's really happening, of thinking that everybody in the world thinks like I do? Anybody else think that? I mean, yeah. Have I been lulled into that? As a spiritual seeker, I know I teach there's this small R reality, all this stuff that's going on. And then there's the big R reality of consciousness and the universe and the expansion that's continuously happening, everything that's going on all the time. I understand that. I know there's more out there than I'm aware of. Anybody ever heard a dog whistle? Not the dog itself, but the whistle that calls the dog. Now, we can't really hear those. The dog can. The dog can. We can't. And we know the color spectrum is way broader than we can see with our eyes. Now, let's not get started on quantum physics. Right? So I know there's a lot more out there. I know there's this whole mystical realm that's out there. Yet I still found myself feeling surprised by this new conversation I was hearing. Okay. So throughout this month, we have been on this journey of renewal and transformation. And we've explored this spiritual concept of Maya, or the illusion or the veil between what we think is reality and. Now, would you agree that we as humans see pretty differently? Let me give you a couple of examples. Politics. Oh, I never talk about politics. So I'm going to talk about politics. The Democrats see things one way, the Republicans see something totally different. And depending on your point of view, your thoughts, your background, your history, you may resonate more with one than the other. Okay. The same is true of religion. The same is true of religion. Most of us were probably raised in a faith tradition that was not this one. I know some of us were, but a lot of us were not. I was raised Methodist. Some were raised Catholic, some Mormon, some with absolutely no spirituality in their home. And whatever that was, we learned about and understood a God of that religion. We understood what that was. We built a series of thoughts and beliefs and a way of looking at the world through those beliefs, through that perspective, through that lens. Now here we are in a new thought spiritual community. We're learning a new relationship with the divine. It's not a third person out there. It's within. It's a presence, a power, energy within us. We're learning to pray affirmatively. And we're learning to look at the world through that lens. We're learning practices and principles that we can actually use in our lives and apply in our lives to everyday situations to help us function better, live better, more enjoyable lives. Now, we've been reading a book all month. I didn't bring a copy of that one. Maya Unveiled, Journey from Illusion to Reality. And in it, he describes Maya as the entire web of beliefs, stories, identifications, and appearances that shape our perception of reality. Now, this is not some new woo-woo concept that's just coming down. This is something that has been talked about for centuries, forever. The ancient philosophers talked about it, ancient Greek, ancient Rome, and Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. Even the author of the Science of Mind text that we teach here, Ernest Holmes, talks about Maya in the study of the Science of Mind. His definition is the illusion is never in the thing, but in the way we look at it. The thing is the thing. The illusion is how we see it. Perhaps you prefer Plato. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Don't judge a book by its cover. We may have translated that a little more contemporarily. Or perhaps Jesus. Judge not according to appearances. Science. There's a recent study out by Cornell University. 75% of eyewitness accounts are wrong. 75%! If you had 100 people and they saw exactly the same thing, 75 of them would be wrong in what they described. Whoa. Isn't that amazing? That was amazing. 75%. Why would 3/4 of us not be able to describe what we saw? Because we see what we want to, don't we? We see what we want to. Based on our beliefs, our environment, what we've experienced, what we believe, we interpret what we're seeing, don't we? We interpret what we're seeing. It's in this environment, it's in this time of day, it's in this place, this whatever. We're going to interpret it based on what we believe to be true. Because there's a lot happening, usually, in these eyewitness accounts of something. There's a lot to see. And what does our brain do? Our brain starts interpreting fight or flight, freeze, what do I need to do here? So it's about me first, right? What do I need to do? And then I'm just sort of observing what's happening. That's what's going on. This is the web of beliefs that the author is describing. The stories, the identification, and the appearances that we have up here. So this month, we've been inviting you to peel back these layers of illusion that obscure our perceptions of reality. Start peeling them back. We've seen how Maya is active in our lives. We've seen it in time, relationships, in ego, success. We've heard talks and messages about all of those topics. Today, I get to step out into spirituality. What? Spirituality? Maya? Illusion? No, can't be, right? Well, it seems that it might be. There may be some traps on this spiritual journey that we need to navigate. Things that can entangle us as we move along our path. Beliefs and practices that may seem enlightened, but can actually get us tangled up in our ego. Somebody knows this? Oh my, you may have experienced this. Maya doesn't just disappear when we suddenly say, I'm stepping on the spiritual path, I'm gonna have a spiritual journey, I'm gonna be spiritual. I'm not gonna deal with any of that stuff anymore. Maya gets a little more tricky, a little more subtle once we take on the mantle of spiritual practice. Would you agree that the ego is clever? Yeah. Turns out it dresses up very nicely in spiritual clothing. It can learn the mantras and the prayers. It can meditate all day. The ego can still get caught in Maya. Book of the Month author says, spiritual illusion is often harder to detect because it feels better than material illusion. It's still our ego. Let's look at some examples. Let's bring this real. Believing that once we do enough prayers, meditations, healing, retreats, then I'll be enlightened. Just have to check them off the box. Get a certain number, I'm done. Right? That's how it works, yeah? Yep. Or we begin to identify ourselves as more spiritual than they are. As soon as that happens, we call that spiritual superiority, we get booted right out of oneness. Because you cannot be one if you feel like you're superior to somebody else. Right? So we are booted out of oneness right there. Another way it shows up is that we must transcend all emotion and remain calm at all times. We cannot get angry. We cannot ever be afraid. And oh my gosh, it was so, I said a negative word. These are some of the spiritual illusions and traps of the spiritual journey that we can get tangled up in when we get on the spiritual path and we get caught up in it like it's a job or something. It's not. It's a way of living. It's a way of being. It's a way of growing and expanding. But these are some of the illusions and traps that we all fall into. They're not truth. They're not truth. Truth is simple. Don't we try to make it complicated. Oh my God, yes. Yeah, we try to make it complicated. I love when people say, Reverend Jill, show me the shortcuts. Show me the shortcuts. How do I get there? There are no shortcuts. We have to just stay on the path. Keep going. It's like that little fish. Keep swimming. Keep swimming. Reverend Lee and I stand up here every week and tell you what we learned, what we experienced as we committed our lives to this spiritual journey and this teaching and this ministry. And we also stand up here and tell you the crap we've been through and the crap we're going through and the things that we deal with and the things that we're still healing that we thought we healed 10 years ago. Because that's how it is. Does anybody else have that experience? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I thought I healed that and here it is again. One more time. But hey, I got the tools now. I got the tools now. I can deal with it. I can heal it one more time at a different level though than it was the last time. Spiritual journey never unfolds. It never ends. It just unfolds layer by beautiful layer as we continue to move along
staying the course, embodying the principles, doing the practices, and use them to make our lives just a little bit better every single day. Truth is not out there and in the future someplace. Truth is right here now, present. We all know it. We all have it. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago when Reverend Jeanette was here and she had that spiritual practice for us that we did in service, where we just closed our eyes and took a breath, relaxed, and then we began to notice the breath breathing through our nose and feeling the air, and how almost instantly it calmed us, brought us to center. See some of you doing that, you can feel that. It's that calmness that happens in the centering. That's what it's about. Right here, right now, this moment. We don't know what's going to happen in the next. We think we do, but we don't. We got this one. We got this one. When things happen, things always happen, don't they? We meditate more. We pray more. We use what we've learned to continue the journey up and around that spiral. It's ever expanding. The path is not straight. It's an upward spiral that keeps going around. So where's the turning point? I mean, do I just keep going? Is there ever, do I ever see through this veil? Do I ever see through Maya, the illusion? Or is this it? Just get to talk about it. We see through the cracks. Remember, cracks is how the light gets in. It's also how the light gets out. Our light gets out. We see through the cracks. When things happen, it's a loss. It's a breakdown, a moment of stillness so deep that we're forever transformed. Forever transformed, forever changed. Everything shifts. I call it our personal Big Bang. It's a time of collision, explosion, time of rebirth, time of creation. It's a foundation of creation for us. And it seems that things are falling apart. They're really falling together. And we can see a little more clearly. Something shifts in us and we have a new perspective. We have a new vision. We see through the illusion. It may only be for a moment, a flash, a thought. A thought changes. One thought changes. We grow, we expand, and we suddenly see something differently. And we see it differently forever. Have you noticed that? Once you see something that's different, you really can't see it the other way any longer. And we've all had that experience at some point in our lives. We've all had that experience, whether it's that light bulb, aha, oh my gosh, moment of realization, or whether it's more subtle and over time that we realize it's changed. My thoughts have changed. My words have changed. I've changed. Some of us had that experience the very first time we walked into a Science of Mind church, Science of Mind spiritual center. Oh, I gotta come home. Oh my gosh, people think like I do, believe like I do. Maybe it was your first class. As a teacher, I've had that experience where I see those light bulbs go on. The realization hit the face, illuminates with realization. And sometimes it's over time. I see folks for years on the path, and then suddenly they come in once and they're transformed. It's like, wow, what happened? Tell me. I see the change. The journey from illusion to awakening is not a straight line, as I said. It is that upward spiral. And we awaken in layers, sort of like peeling an onion. Just this week, I was working with someone that I've worked with for years, and they're very steeped in the teaching, very steeped and prepared in the teaching, and made the comment, "Oh my gosh, I'm feeling the singing again. When am I ever going to get done with this? When am I ever going to get done with this?" And again, it's different this time. It's not the same as it was the last time that she looked at it. It's different. This happens to all of us. And it turns out that our Book of the Month author says that there are stages of awakening, and he talks about those in the book. And I pulled out 3 of them I want to look at today. The first one is disillusionment. Disillusionment. And that's when we realize what we thought was going to make us feel fulfilled doesn't. It doesn't. We achieve, we get, we have, we do, and it just doesn't do it for us. He calls this a sacred moment. Our ego is disappointed, right? Our ego is very disappointed in that moment. We might even cry. But it's a sacred moment, and when we can pause and push that ego disappointment aside and be with the moment, just allow that ego to be still and see what is revealed. What is revealed when we can push away disappointment? The second is deconstruction. And this is where our beliefs begin to crumble. Where when we thought things were a way that they're not, and we're in that realization phase, the role maybe that we played, the mask that we've worn, we're suddenly not wearing anymore. We become our more authentic self. He calls this a sacred death of who we were and who we're becoming. And the third is surrender. This is not giving up, it's getting into the divine within us, saying yes, remembering the elusive and temporary nature of everything. Of everything. Remember 2020 and how forever it felt and seemed? And now here we are, and it wasn't. Life changed. But when we surrender, bless you, we begin to remember. We're already whole. We are the light. And we live in oneness. And everything is okay right now. True awakening is not checking out of the world. We don't go live in an ashram. We don't go get in a cave and meditate all the time. We're still in this life, aren't we? We're still in this life. We still have to do the dishes, take out the trash, take care of our friends, take care of our health, go to work, do all that stuff. We still have to do all that. But we now have this cape, this mantle of spiritual practices and tools that we're embodying to live by, to live from, to utilize, and taking out the trash in a mindful manner, and doing the dishes mindfully, in being present in that total one-on-one oneness with others. We're walking our talk. And we do it all. All the moments of our big, beautiful, messy life done spiritually. Remembering who we are. Deepak Chopra, he says, awakening is not changing who you are, but remembering who you are not. And that's that taking off those masks. Remembering who we are. Not all the stuff we've cobbled onto us about who we are supposed to be, need to be, and that sort of thing. But who are we? That's seen through the veil. That's seen through Maya and the illusion. of the truth of our being and who we truly, truly are. Now, I'm going to tell you that we're probably not always going to be able to avoid all of these traps on the spiritual journey. It just happens. It's part of the journey to get tangled up in things. Because the process of untangling is where the growth happens. So the next time you get tangled up in stuff, know that the process is just beginning as you begin to untangle yourself and grow. Well, let's look at some of our spiritual practices. Remember, you can sign up for the Mindful Monday, which is the recap of today's talk and the practices, or our newsletter in the lobby, the QR code, or on our website. All right, so this week we're going to use those 3 steps of awakening that the author talked about in a practice of self-reflection. Self-reflection is an important component of our spiritual journey. We can get caught up in all the doingness of spirituality, the reading, the classes, the study, the retreats, and all those things, which are great and wonderful. But a big part of it, too, is looking within, reflecting on who am I? Am I wearing masks? Have I let those go? Am I being authentic? Am I being vulnerable? Who am I? So this practice this week, I invite you to use whatever method works for you. You can contemplate if you want to use your mind. You can journal if you want to use your words. Discuss with a friend if you're more verbal. So you can use it in any way. The first is that process of disillusionment. When have you realized that what you thought would fulfill you didn't? And what happened? What happened? Number 2 is the deconstruction. When did you experience a belief that crumbled? When did your role change? When did you remove a mask? Some examples could be when you became an empty nester, when you retired, when you changed jobs, when you lost a loved one. Those were all times of transition or transformation, and we may be changing masks. And the third is that surrender. Describe a period of surrender and how your relationship to God was forever changed. You're going to be looking deeper into yourself and begin to peel the onion and see through the veil of illusions in your mind. What stories, beliefs, appearances are you carrying that you're looking through, that you're seeing life through, that is keeping you behind the veil? Maya is not the enemy. I hope we haven't left you with that thought that Maya, an illusion, is an enemy. It's not. It's a teacher, a mirror, and an invitation. Because she shows us who we're not, so that we can remember who we are. The journey is not about becoming someone new. It's about undoing who you never really were. You're not the illusion. You are the light behind the illusion. So we'll close it out this morning with a quote from Marianne Williamson, who says, "Love is what we are born with. Fear is what we learn. The spiritual journey is the unlearning of fear and the acceptance of love back into our hearts. Love is the essential reality and our purpose on earth. To be consciously aware of it, to experience love in ourselves and others, is the meaning of life. Meaning does not lie in things. Meaning lies within us." So it is. And it is your turn. The last chance to ask about Maya or illusions or anything else or comment on the topic.
So the second thing that you mentioned in the early part of your talk was like spiritual superiority.
Mhm.
So how does one deal with the frustration of observing people being cruel or just doing harmful things?
As it relates to spiritual superiority,
Well, yeah, because the idea would be that they're missing seeing the world through a spiritual lens and being able to, um, reconcile something within themselves, so they're like taking it out on somebody else, or you're making a misjudgment, or, even being prejudiced or being whatever. So to me, that doesn't seem very spiritual.
Mhm.
And the fact that I'm recognizing that, is that spiritual superiority? Or is that just, wow, that sucks? I don't know.
the latter. Three microphones over here. All right, my reference to spiritual superiority is when we believe that we are spiritually more enlightened than anybody else, and therefore they're less than we are. So your observation of someone misbehaving, behaving badly, is not spiritual superiority. It's your recognizing the separation that is being experienced between those individuals. Then the question becomes for you in your heart, what do I do, if anything, about this? It's not that noticing bad things in the world means you're spiritually superior. It's when we judge those things and those people for what they're doing. But I would never do that because I've got a spiritual mindset, and you're just horrible. Rather than, can I diffuse this? Can we do nonviolent communication? Would you, call for prayer? What can I do to bring my gifts to the world without making the world wrong? You're welcome. Anybody else?
Have another addition to that, and seeing who you don't want to be. Like when you see people being and misbehaving, you know that's where you don't want to be or who you want to be. Yeah, that came to my mind as well.
Yeah, and one of my favorite spiritual teachings is in that is, if you spot it, you got it. And that's one, actually, my favorite. I don't like it, but it's one of those things, when I see something that I think is just horrible in the world, I always ask, where's that in me? Why is it someplace I've been that I can now say I'm not there anymore, I've healed it? And can I get a gift here? Or is it something in me that resonates at that at some level that I've got some healing work to do? Yeah.
I know that in my lifetime, I've noticed that we have honored the Native Indians and their teachings and their spiritual beliefs. Wouldn't that have been amazing if we had done that when we came here in this country? Instead of not honoring that, I just think about that and think about thinking that we thought we were superior.
Yeah, exactly. But, at that time, there was not at least in the people who were arriving at that time, they just didn't have the consciousness for it. Yeah. Anything else?
I think the with everything that we're talking about, one of the struggles that I personally have is that when what you're conflicted with is the family you live in. And my mother decided before I was born that she was going to lie to me. So I was betrayed from birth. And still almost 60 years old, even though I've done a lot of different modalities of healing, I'm still in the healing process. And I can look at the world at large and I can send love and compassion. I'm so connected to humanity and the planet. And it saddens me what's happening out there. But when it comes to the people the environment I grew up in, and having to interact with those people on a daily basis. And I've recently broken up with a lot of my family. They don't know this, and they might not care. But I had to go through a deep understanding of who I like and who I love, and who's going to matter to me. And it's that familiarity breeds contempt. And I can send love and healing and understanding and interact with the world around me. But when it's people that are family, that are close, I just chose not to go to a big family celebration because of the way I put it. I was a bundle of truth born into a world full of lies. And that's where I have difficulty in my compassion. When to this day people are still infighting and attacking each other and hurting each other because it is much easier to be a viper and a sniper than it is to contemplate what could be on the other side of your pain and maybe find some freedom in honesty. So whether this applies to what everybody's talking to or not, outside, yes, I can give that compassion. A lot of it. I love people, I love humanity, and I love the planet and the animals. But then when it comes to being a bundle of truth in an environment, in an extended family, filled with lies and still filled with lies to this day, and deception and nastiness, that's where I have.
Thank you for sharing. Very powerful. All right. Anybody else? Shall we pray? Powerful sharing. Thank you, Kayla. So as we go within, just notice our breath. Recognizing that centering breath that brings us fully present and aware into this moment. In recognition that there is only one. There is only God. There is only Spirit, Source, the Essence, the Presence. The one life. And that life is love. It is peace and harmony and balance. It is joy and order, divine right action. And all of that is here now, in, through, and as me, as a manifestation of that one, the one source of all life, of all that is. I live that life, I breathe that life. And as I know that I am the manifestation of the one, I know that's true for each and every one of us gathered here today, those joining us online or later. For we are all connected, not separate, connected in this moment, in this life, in this livingness, united in the one, as the one. And so I know that each of us goes forth and expresses that love out into the world, into our lives, and to ourselves, recognizing the importance of self-love, of self-care, of standing in our own truth, I know that as we have studied this topic this month of Maya, of the illusion of the veil that our founder Ernest Holmes talked of, the veil is thin. And as we open with new eyes and new hearts and perspectives and minds, we can see through glimmers of that veil, seeing through to the truth of our being, that we are the light. We are that love. We are that which Spirit is. We're all here doing just the best that we can. And so I know for anyone that has anything on their hearts today, as they lift that into this prayer, this consciousness of this room, that is absolutely vibrating with our love in this moment, that we surround them, knowing that whatever is the desire, the need, clarity that is brought forward powerfully in their lives, made manifest right here and now. And it is with a grateful heart, filled with joy and thanksgiving for all of it, for everything, and particularly for the manifestation of these prayers. That I release this into the action or activity of law, knowing that it is done. It is complete. There's nothing else to be said or done. I just let it go. I release it. We affirm this truth together by saying, and so it is.
All right. Thank you, Reverend Joe. Wonderful this morning. All right. Now it's time for our grateful giving. Time in our service for our spiritual practice, where we affirm and circulate our financial abundance to support the mission, vision, and purpose of sharing this truth of affirmative spirituality. Ernest Holmes writes, I know that my good is increased and multiplied as it is scattered. I am both an inlet and an outlet for the passage of divine love, life, and power. Wherever I go, then I shall impart the divine blessing which I have received. So I invite everybody online and in the room to join us in this practice this morning. We have many ways to give. There will be a offering basket floating around the room here in a little bit. We also have a QR code for you to use. And we'll take you to a place where you can use your credit card. Make that a one-time donation or an ongoing activity where you become a financial steward. And you can receive it. You can pick up the time ticket if you come into the space and join us. Drop that in the basket as it comes around. We have the Zelle address, donations to SCSL.org. We also have a program called Money Fund. It's one of my favorite little programs. We have this little green envelope carried around with you during the week, and when unexpected goodness comes your way in the form of cash, so we buy you lunch or dinner or paying for your coffee in line before you even get there, 10% goes in here and 90% stays with you. It's a fun way to acknowledge and generally increase that flow of good in our lives. Also, if you're going to use cash or check today, you can drop that in the envelope and put your email address on the back so we can send you a letter at the end of the year documenting your giving over the course of the year. So, with that, I totally got lost on the page. Oh, there it is. You join me in the affirmation. Hold your hands over your heart. I am an open channel through which prosperity flows. I accept the divine flow of goodness, ideas, and substance through me now. I'm grateful for my full and prosperous life. And so it is.
Gratitude for me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful.
so grateful.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me. Gratitude behind me. Gratitude to the left of me. Gratitude to the right of me. Gratitude above me. Gratitude below me. Gratitude within me. Gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
And we are so very, very grateful for the abundances we shared with us here today, both in the space and online. We're grateful for the ever expanding experience of good that is the Scottsdale Center for Spiritual. Knowing that as we receive, we do give, and as we receive, we know it's pressed down, shaken together, and running over in an ever expanding cycle of prosperity, abundance, health, wholeness, love, truth, and joy. And so let it be. A few closing announcements and reminders here this morning. If you'd like prayer today, you can see myself and like the Reverend Jill in the prayer room if you so desire. You can also leave a written request in the prayer box in the lobby or on the website 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And Reverend Jill and I, our practitioner crew, will participate in prayer with you. Remember to sign up and to stay in touch and receive the weekly newsletter and Mindful Monday recap. You can do that online or in the lobby. And while you're at it, sign up for Valerie's Fun in the Sun Luau on June 21st. Also, mark your calendar, June 8th, live music with Jennifer Sheets, followed by Prayer Circle, and June 29th, brunch returns to Cocktails Restaurant for lunch. Next week, we'll begin our June series, Discover a Richer Life, with my message, The Inner Treasure, Awakening to Your Divine Identity. We'll be gathered here at 10 o'clock for the message, 9:30 for meditation. Streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Plus, there's a Wednesday night rebroadcast of Just the Message at 7 p.m. on Facebook. So if you join me by standing for our closing affirmation and our song today. Yeah. I live in peace and share my joy. I am empowered by spiritual truth. Today I see through the illusions of my mind. So it is.
Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand a new world now. We are making a new world now.
Thumbs up.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to crowd your personal space. Okay, I know if I sit in the corner, it means I would be left alone. If I've been